Right, let's move on to stock number 2. And here we're talking about the world's number 2 player in the clothing and sporting apparel arena, and that is the German company Adidas. Okay, so again, a multinational company with design, manufacturing, and distribution activities. Centered on the shoe business, again, in the running environment. They have the whole Boost wear. We'll talk about that in a moment. But in the accessories business, they have a substantial footprint in all of the other stuff, clothing, casual wear, like I was saying earlier. This company, headquartered, yes, in Bavaria in Germany. Its mix is a little bit different because it has quite a significant footprint in the golf business, and that's because they own the entire Taylormade and associated brands, Ashworth and so on in that space. Big investment for them there. And you may be interested to know that they also own Reebok. So you may think you're getting a different company when you buy Reebok stuff, but that is in addition a brand that belongs to the Adidas company. A couple of other interesting assets they have. Did you know, for example, that they own 10% of Bayern Munich FC? They made the quarterfinals of the Champions League and they won. They beat the Portuguese. That means they're into the semi-final. It's going to be very tough to beat them. I'm a huge Barcelona fan, so I hope they do go all the way, but you can't back the Germans too strongly, it seems. Market cap of this thing is 15.5 billion euros. Okay, so a little bit of quick maths. That's substantially less than Nike, in part because it's a couple of stumbles that they have in fact endured in recent times. But 15.5 billion euros still puts them up at about 18 or thereabout billion dollars. It's 200 billion rand. So a pretty substantial corporation nonetheless. Price earnings ratio 28.1, dividend yield 2%. So yes, let's talk about successes and weaknesses with regard to Adidas. Here you can see this is the New York price of Adidas. Although Adidas is principally listed on the Frankfurt market and priced in euros, this shows you what the price chart looks like. And you can see it's not nearly as exciting as Nike's. And the stumble comes for a couple of reasons. Firstly, the golf business has been pretty lousy. And that's because in the United States of America, which is the principal golf playing market in the world, there's been an unfortunate trend of declining number of rounds played. We've had 2 quite severe winters, which has been bad for people getting out and about. And there has been the demise of Tiger Woods, which meant that there was a lot less watching of golf on television, which is a bit of a negative with regard to sales of new golfing equipment. The second reason that they stumbled was a huge investment that they made in recent years to expand into the Russian market. For some reason or another, Adidas decided that Russia, with its 300 million people, would be a very exciting market. They've got 1,100 stores in Russia, which means basically every town, city has got an Adidas store. And casual wear in the Russian market is also significant. I think you've probably seen the stereotyped oligarch wearing his velvet red tracksuit made by Adidas. That's the kind of stuff that was going on. All of the casual wear, like the Stan Smith shoes, which is a very big selling casual sneaker type shoe, which Adidas sells globally, were doing exceptionally well. And we all know what happened next in Russia. Economic sanctions is a function of all the messing around that's going on in the Ukraine and the collapse of the ruble. So all of the profits made in Russia have been going in and down the drain. So I would say it's a fabulous company. They did extremely well. Remember the World Cup football, FIFA World Cup in Brazil. Who were the 2 finalists? Germany, sponsored by Adidas. Argentina, sponsored by Adidas. The number 1 player, Leo Messi, sponsored by Adidas. The number 1 goalkeeper, what's his name? Manuel Neuer, the big German, sponsored by Adidas. So they were looking good and coming out of that, and they had a big surge in sales of the apparel because people would go and buy the supporter shirt, which of course feeds directly into them. The running shoes, you got to hand it to them. They're doing extremely well. So I think this is a company that's probably going to have a bit of a rebound. It deserves it. It's a hard-working, well-operated company. The Germans never stay down for very long. Perhaps a couple of tactical decisions, and you might see a little bit of pain, but I think it's certainly a company one could look at some point. So I'm going to go hot on that one as well. Good.